Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We are going to do what you see pictured. It is the Crocheted change purse. It is a pattern from redheart.com. It is a free pattern. The pattern number is, and it makes it easier to look it up. If you have a pattern number, you can go to the search bar and type in the pattern number. Where is the pattern number here? Pattern number is LW3547. Okay, so this is a pattern that I wanted to do because I have acquired a lot of new crocheters. So I have some beginners that have joined me lately. So I like to do refresher courses and some easier patterns, beginner patterns, whenever I notice that I have a lot of newbies that come up to my page. So we're going to work on this crochet change purse. It is a beginner's project. You will only need one ball of Super Saver yarn or whatever type of yarn you prefer. You will need a 5.5mm hook, which is the US I-9. I am, however, using a 5mm because I didn't want mine to be any bigger than what I have made, and I'll show you that on the next clip. You'll need a stitch marker. You will also need a yarn needle, one button, and either thread yarn or yarn to sew that on with. Okay, and it's going to measure about 5 by 4. Okay, so go to redheart.com and go ahead and print these downloadable instructions or follow along on the web page with me. So if you're on the web page, you'll go to the download button and it will pull your pattern up here for you. It'll show you down the side everything that you need and tell you any special notes and things like that. So this here to here is going to be your instructions, and it's a very simple project. So let's get started. Alright guys, you are looking at the example piece that I made last night, and this one is for my personal use and I love it. Made of my favorite color, which is teal, and this is one of the heavier super value brands of yarn by Red Heart. It's one of the thicker ones. So then I put my little gold button here, and you just are going to open that up, and then you have a nice little pouch inside. Keep in mind you are working from the inside out, and when we're to a certain point we will turn this inside out and weave in our ends and put the button on. Okay, so this is the crochet change purse. As you can tell, you can use it for many other things. You can even add a handle to it to make it a little purse, but it's really nice. And this is something that when you don't want to carry everything in your pocketbook, your huge suitcase, if you ladies are like me, I have a suitcase I carry around everywhere. But sometimes I want something smaller, something that will hold my cell phone, my debit card, my money, my chapstick, my lipstick, things like that. Perfect for it. Okay, so that's my example. You're going to need your scissors. You're going to need a button of your size of your choice. I prefer a medium. And then you're going to need a needle, which you can get through your hole there. Alright, as I said before, I'm using a 5mm hook. So this one here in this red yarn is going to be smaller than this because my hook is not a 5.5, it's a 5. And this yarn is not going to be as heavy. Okay, so if we're reading the instructions, you're going to chain 18. Okay, so I have chained 18 single crochet. Now once you've done that, what you're going to do is you're going to go in that second from the chain and you're going to do a single crochet. Okay, and you're going to do a single crochet all the way across. So you started off with 18 chains. That's going to leave you 17 to work with once you get all the way across. Now keep in mind when you're working, and this is all in single crochet, all but the second to the very last row on the flap, where will be worked in double crochet just to make a little bit of a variation stitch there. But you don't want it super tight, but you don't want to leave a lot of space with your single crochet, because if it's a change purse and you use it for that, you don't want your coins to slip through. So what I mean is you don't want to take and do your single crochet, you know, this loose. You see what I'm saying? You want to take those single crochet and you want to tighten those up a bit. You don't have to make that yarn squeak, but you do need to make sure that you have it have a closed, what I call a closed single crochet stitch, where you know you're not getting a whole lot through there. So you just want to single crochet all the way to the end of this row, and again you'll have 17 single crochet. Okay, I am now at the end here. Make sure that you get that very end stitch. Try that one again. Okay, so now you have your foundation row. Now once you've done that, you're going to turn and you're going to chain 1, so that's going to allow you to move up. Now you're going to repeat, and you're going to repeat row 2 until your piece measures 8 inches. Okay, so basically you're going to do this piece and pretend like this was folded down. You know, you're going to make it 18 inches. Okay, so it's going to be the main body minus this right here. This we will work on after this piece right here gets to be 18 inches. So you're going to do several lines. Alright, so you're just going to go back into that first stitch, and then you're going to go all the way across, and where the stitch marker comes into play, which I did not, I didn't bring one with me. For those of you, let me get a piece of yarn here, that are new to this, if you don't have yourself a stitch marker, take yourself a piece of yarn, maybe 2 to 3 inches, and when you go to turn or to start your row, to end or to start your row, either one, like if I go back to the beginning here, and I know this is my end stitch, okay, whenever you get ready to pull that through, wrap that yarn through and pull it, okay, and pull it through like that, and then that way you will have your stitch marker in with that stitch. That way it'll mark it for you, or else you can just use your stitch marker, or you know, you can do it like usual. You can finish off your stitch there, take your stitch marker and go back through the beginning here, pull that yarn through and through. Right through and through it went. That's funny. Okay, so just pull one part through there, grab your loop back, and you're ready to turn. Okay, so that's going to leave you a mark that's going to tell you where your beginning stitch is. And then you're going to chain 1, you're going to turn, like I said, and then you're just going to start going back across for that second row. Okay, so basically you're just going to do this. You're going to single crochet in each single crochet until you have 17 across all the way to the end. And then you're going to chain 1, which is going to allow you to go up. And then you're going to turn around and you're going to come back the same way. And then you want to get your trusty tape measure, because you're going to have to measure a few different times. What I like to do, I like to have fun with my knowledge, and sometimes I like to see if I can guess how close I am, or keep going until I think I'm close to the measurement and see how smart I am. Most of the time I'm pretty ways off. I give it my best shot. Okay, so you're at the end right here. You want to make sure to get that last stitch. To all of my new crocheters out there, let me zoom in a bit here so I can show you what I'm talking about. You think you're at the end, you don't see a stitch, but trust me, it's there. This is where you get the triangle effect going on. If you don't get that last stitch right here, and sometimes they're really tight. Okay, so you see now I have those 2 there. If there is a stitch there, make sure to count each and every row to make sure you have 17. That way if you see you only have 16, understand that there's still that stitch there. Okay, now you want to get you another piece of yarn and put it at the end of this row as well. Then that way, you know, you have your start and finish markers. And then that way you don't have to worry about knowing where your beginning and end stitches are. Okay, so that's at the end of the second row. So again, you're going to chain 1, you're going to turn, and you're just going to keep going up. Now I'm going to do the rest of mine off camera. I'm going to get mine to my 8 inches, and then I will come back and we will continue to the flat part of our change purse. So keep going and I'll meet you back. Alright guys, welcome back. as you see here, I have gone all the way across to make 8 inches. So now what you want to do is you want to put a stitch marker of sorts, yarn, stitch marker, however you see fit, on each corner. This is going to mark where when we get to the point that I let you know we're going to fold, you're going to fold up to that point. Okay, as for the flap, now you're just going to continue working in the same manner for another 1.5 inches. So you're just going to continue. You're just going to do a chain 1, and you're going to go in each stitch, and you're going to do this until the flap part only measures 1.5 inches. So you're going to single crochet across, chain 1, turn, and single crochet across until you get to that 1.5 inches additional. Alright guys, I have done my 1.5 inches, and for me it was only maybe 5-6 rows. So and that doesn't matter as long as you measured 1.5 inches. Now this next row, you're going to do what's you're just going to do a simple chain 3 and turn. Okay. Now read your instructions on this. If you have your pattern, I'm a little kind of confused. I think there may be a mix-up in the actual pattern. I'm not sure, but I will turn it and let you see what this says. Get my pattern straight here. Alright, so where it says under the flap, next row, it says right side, chain 3 counts as double crochet. Okay, skip first single crochet in each remaining single crochet to the end. But now if you go down to the next row, it says chain 1 and single crochet in each double crochet across. So I think that may be a mishap. I think right here this whole row should be a double crochet row instead of a single crochet row, because it says here to chain 3 and count as double crochet, skip first single crochet, and then single crochet in each stitch. But down here, in order to single crochet in each double crochet across, you had to have double crocheted here, not single crocheted. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that a double crochet row, which is what I did on my first one. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to skip this one, and then we're just going to go across for a double crochet row. And this row here is going to enable you to have the space to put your button through without making a button hole. You know, so if you choose to put one button, you'll have these double crochet to work through. If you choose to have, you know, 2 buttons, 3 buttons, however many you see fit, then you'll have these gaps here to stick your button through on the other side to snap it. So we're just going to do this row in double crochet. So I'm not really sure. You can read that pattern over and over, but to me it just seems like it was just a typo maybe, but will work as a double crochet row. So you should have 16 double crochet and then the chain 3 that you did at the beginning. Alright, so now the last row you're going to do that chain 1, and then you're going to single crochet across in each double crochet like the last row of instructions state. Okay, so we're just going to single crochet all the way to the end. Alright guys, so then here we are. We have our double crochet and single crochet row at the end. Now you're going to finish off, cut yourself about a 2-inch end there so we can tighten that at the end. Okay, so now in finishing, and if you had your stitch marker down here at the end, you can take that out, which mine's disappeared now. Whoops, about pulled that one out. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this bottom piece and you're going to fold it up to where your purple stitch marker's at, or whatever color you're using. Mine's purple, of course. You're going to fold it up to about where that's at. You want to make sure that it's evenly across. Okay? And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your yarn and make sure you cut off enough, and you're going to whip stitch both of your ends together. Okay? And whip stitching is very easy to do. Get my needle threaded here. So anyways, while I'm threading this, go ahead and get yours threaded up, or matched up. Both, actually. Alright, so then you're going to take and you're going to turn it around, and you're going to start way down here at this corner, because you want to make sure that you leave no gaps. Alright, whether you keep changing these or what have you. So you're just going to pull all the way through, and I hope you left yourself a rather lengthy piece of yarn here, because you're going to tie this. And then you're going to go back in the other side. Make sure you stop and leave yourself a tail here. Okay, want to pull, not real tight, but tight. Not real tight, but snug. How's that? You don't want it pinching it so tight that it caves itself in there. I don't think that makes for a very nice product. But you want to do these not one on top of the other, but you do want to do them kind of close. That way you have no chance for escapees in your change burrs here. So basically you're just going to do this for both sides. Once you get this side complete, you're going to come up to here all the way to the very tip of this corner here. Okay, so don't stop back here. You're going to have this little flap that's going to open on you down there. You want to make sure to get in this top corner. So you're going to fasten off, and then you'll turn over, and then you'll go to the other side, cut you a new strand of yarn, and you'll repeat the same thing, and I'll meet you back up. Okay guys, I have gotten everything sewn, so you can now take out your stitch markers, and now is going to be a good time to turn this inside out. You may want to go ahead and start weaving your ends in a little bit, because these ones here at the bottom, once you turn this inside out, they're going to be a little difficult to get to. And normally I have a little special hook that I do for weaving. It's a little bitty tiny hook made just for weaving, and I don't have that over here. So okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to turn this change purse inside out. Make sure you poke those corners out real good, and you'll turn this over. Okay, and you see, you just get it all straightened out. I'll get those strands here in just a bit. Now what you want to do is you want to line this up. Don't force it way down like this. You just want to barely fold the flap over. Okay, so you have your finished product here, and this is the button that I've chose that I'm going to use. Alright, so you want to line it up. You see where your double crochet stitches here are? So you have adequate space there to put a button of decent size if you like. And I don't like the little sizes because of course I have fingernails, so they're harder to work with. So I like to have the medium size button, and I think about right here is going to be my center point. So I'm going to lift this up a bit and go right there with the button. So then I'm going to take me maybe a 12-inch strand of yarn that I've been sewing with, and you can do this with thread yarn. You can do it with you know, 2 or 3 weight yarn, or you can do it with the same yarn that you did, which is what I'm doing. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to thread it through there, and then I'm going to flip the baby over here, and we're going to find out where she's at. And then we're just going to sew her right on there. Let's see which way I've got it facing. Alright, so it's right here. So then you're just going to sew through here just a couple times, back and forth. Doesn't take that much to hold them on there, but once you start using this pouch, the buttons and the thread or the yarn become looser and looser. So you do want to make sure that you get that on there decently well. And of course, so thick, It's hard to get in there sometimes. Okay, so basically that's all you're going to do is you're just going to keep going through and through and through. I don't know if I can get another pass through there or not because that was really tight. But I like to use the yarn better because it does hold much better. Trying to see if I can push it through on my table. Okay, it ain't gonna go through again, so that's plenty. And that's fine if you can't get it through, but so many times it's perfectly fine because it's gonna stand right there by itself anyway, so you just tie that off. You get 2 good passes when you're using thick yarn only. Don't try so many, because see that's on there pretty good. So when you're using the thread yarn, you want to make sure that you get more than 2 passes on that. But with the thicker yarn, it's perfectly acceptable. If all you get through is 2, then that's totally acceptable there. So now we're going to weave these ends in here. And I apologize, I don't usually like to weave ends in on camera. But since we're doing this together, I'm just going to finish it up here. And we got one more. Now, and it's up to you if you want to go through and add a border. Most of the time, I absolutely recommend borders on almost everything. That's my personal preference, of course. But where I'm talking about is right through here. If you wanted to add a small border, that would be fine too. Okay, so my button is center, so we're just going to line that back up and find where I was going to stick that little button. I think it's 1 over. And then you're just going to weasel it in there. Be careful, you really don't want to bend it out of shape too far there. Alright, so there's that one, and then this is my first one. Now you will be able to tell I use the same hook size, just a little different yarn. Okay, because the red yarn was a little bit thinner. So you see how much of a difference that your yarn is going to make in any type of size. It's just a tremendous amount of difference. So you need to keep this in mind when you're thinking about, oh, I'm just going to substitute this yarn for that yarn. But if you look and if you measure the difference here, that's about 3/4 of an inch difference. That's going to leave a nice mark on whatever project that you are doing. So you need to keep that in mind when you think about, I know some people want to take a shortcut and use a different hook or a different yarn. Oh, I don't have this yarn, so I'm going to use this yarn. And that's fine to substitute, but make sure you have the same weight of yarn. It makes all the difference in the world. So see, if I set those on top of each other, you can tell there's about a 3/4 inch difference all the way around, except for the top and the bottom. I'm talking along the sides. Okay, so again, you can other ways of kind of fixing these up a bit. You can also add a small handle if you want to make this maybe for a young lady that would like to carry her items with her as well. You can put a long handle on this to make it sort of like a shoulder Indian bag, which I call them. You can also make you little flowers, or you can put little beads on. You can also add you a different trim here. You can crochet some lace trim, or you can put you a flower of some sort or a letter in the back. So the reason I do these simple projects and patterns like these right here is because these are the types of patterns you build off of, like basic beanies. Make a basic beanie, okay? Follow any pattern for a basic beanie. A single crochet beanie, a double crochet, or a half double crochet or triple crochet beanie, they're all the same. We used all the same stitches. But once you get that basic beanie established, go with it, go off the deep end with it. Make your own project at that point. Turn it into you know, an animal beanie or turn it into something really funky. But that's the fun thing about crochet, and that's kind of a tip for the day for you, is take simple projects like these and add to them and then turn them into your own projects. You know, like I say, the decoration of these or the little handles of these, you can put 2 little handles on the side, and you can make it where you can put it on a belt, or you can make the strap in the back, you can put it on a belt. You can do numerous of things with these. So just use your imagination. I appreciate you joining me for today's pattern for the Crochet Change Purse by redheart.com under free patterns. Again, the pattern number is LW3547. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Happy hooking. Until next time, have a great day.